Okay, my littles, this one is a great story. Babar, the little elephant, and the Succotash bird. So let's learn about Babar and the Succotash bird. Okay. Night had fallen in Celesteville. All Babar's children were asleep except Alexander, who rose from bed and walked to the terrace to look at the moon. But it was not the moon. Oops, I can see the picture. But it was not the moon giving the bright light that filled the sky. It was a beautiful bird with sparkling colors. Gliding closer, the bird started to clap his beak. Tash, Succotash, what are you doing here so late? I can't sleep, said Alexander. Well, let's have some fun then. I'm a wizard. Would you like to play parachute or swing swing? What does that mean? Asked Alexander. You will see, little elephant, when you choose. Alexander chose swing swing. In a second, he was floating in the air, swinging pleasantly back and forth, left and right. Amazing! You really are a wizard, cried Alexander. Can you also make me fly? Not now, said the bird. Now you should go to sleep. Oh, but will you come back again, right? Asked Alexander. I might. I'd like to make you happy. But remember, there are good and bad wizards, and sometimes it's hard to tell friend from foe. Till next time, goodbye. Succotash, Succotash. Very excited, Alexander woke his brother and sisters, told them he had seen a magic bird. A magic bird? Flora said, you were dreaming. No, it's true. He made me float in the air. Oh, go back to bed, cried Pom. The day following, the whole family went hiking in the mountains. Little Isabel was ahead. She loved to be first. Flora and Alexander followed Celeste, but Pom was dragging along behind Babar. Suddenly, the sky grew dark and it started to rain. They rushed to a cave for shelter. The shower was brief and the family left the cave soon. But as they did, a big bird flew out of the cave over their heads, clapping his beak and crying, Succotash, Succotash. That's my wizard, cried Alexander. He ran downhill. That's the bird. Alexander, come back, shouted Babar and Celeste, but he was already far away. Does that look like the same bird that came to his window the other night? I don't know, let's find out. Alexander ran and ran until the bird landed. Why aren't you red and gold this morning? The little elephant asked. The bird looked at him. Then he said with a smile, that is my evening outfit, so I shine like a star. Can we play again? Asked Alexander. Of course, I can make you big or small. Which do you want? Big, big as a tree. Succotash, cried the bird, waving his wings. Alexander started to swell. He got bigger and bigger and bigger. He was taller than a pine tree, but still he got bigger. Now he was as big as a mountain. He could barely see his family down below. Stop, stop, he cried in horror. I changed my mind. Make me small. Immediately, Alexander dropped to the ground like a stone. He was smaller than a squirrel, so small that he had to look up to see flowers. Do you see him right here? Look how tiny he is. He's big. He is. He's smaller than that squirrel, isn't he? Oh, no. Then he saw a beaver and thought it was a monster. He fell backwards into a lake. Poor Alexander. The fish looked like whales. Where was the wizard? Oof. I'm putting myself to sleep with the story. Luckily, a frog noticed him in the water and pulled him onto a lily pad. He rowed Alexander to land and said kindly, the dragonfly will lead you to your parents. So he's following the dragonfly. But Alexander got lost in an ivy forest. He could not see his guide anymore. Oh, Mom and Dad, where are you? He cried. Meanwhile, Babar, Celeste, Pom, Flora, and Isabel were all looking for him. They searched behind every bush and every rock, shouting, Alexander, Alexander! Babar had called his wise friend Cornelius, who was airlifted immediately. His helicopter was searching from up high in the sky. Do you see this helicopter right there? And look over here. They're in a hot air balloon. Wow, they're really looking hard for him, aren't they? Celeste sat on a rock in despair. Where are you, my little boy? She sighed. Look, what do you see right there? Mommy, here, he cried, pulling on her shirt. Celeste tried not to show her how scared she was. She picked him up gently. Babar, Cornelius, I found him. Come quick. Oh, look. There's two different birds, huh? Alexander hardly had time to explain what happened when he heard Tash, Succotash. Two birds were fighting overhead. Aha, cried Cornelius, your wizard did not change his clothes, Alexander. There are two birds. Both cry Succotash. That is what confused you. Brown and the other fellers fell to the ground. Fighting, huh? Succotash, the good wizard cried. What have you done now? Shame on you. You never stop making trouble. You disgrace all us wizards. Turn Alexander back to the size he was, or I'll turn you into a pile of feathers. It was just a joke, whinnied the mischief maker. And zip! Alexander was his size again. Everybody hugged him and kissed him. I'm going to make you small for a while. The good wizard scolded the rascal, so you see how it feels. I hope for your sake a cat doesn't eat you. The bird shrank to the size of a mouse, and nobody could hear his miserable squawk. How small he is right there. The golden wizard then said goodbye to everyone. Remember, Alexander, don't jump to conclusions. There's more than one bird who can call Succotash. That is how life is. Right mixed with wrong, like Succotash. Lima beans cooked with corn. Apparently that's what Succotash is. Lima beans cooked with corn. I don't know. Very tired, the elephants walked back to Celesteville. That night on the terrace, Pom, Flora, Alexander, and little Isabel looked up at the stars. Each secretly hoped the golden bird would return and take them on a magical flight through the sky. And that's the end of our story. I love you, littles.